Live from Kansas, welcome race fans one and all to the Kansas Speedway, where today 31 trucks get set to rumble to life for the final time this season in the SRA IEL Truck Series in 2026. My name is Ola Wamble alongside Howie Burrows. We're bringing you all of racing action from start to finish here this afternoon, where we are set to watch a two-horse race pan out for this last chapter of what has been a wild championship so far. Howie, you were with us all throughout last week, and now you're with us again for the season finale. What a championship it has been so far, and what a venue to see it all come to a close.
Make it a polar opposite destination indeed. I've sort of said in jest before the show that trucks around here can become a little bit of a super speedway. It's a very, very high speed, high action, high width tri-oval where there's going to be a lot of space to run around your opponents, a lot of space to build up runs, and survival with this many cars on the grid is going to be a big importance to you.
Of course, only two drivers will be able to contend for the championship today, those drivers being Zane Bailey and Elliott Kandra. They have been close the entire season, and only from 2 races ago did we see the points gap extend to beyond 10 points. It stands at just 13 entering racing action today. Now, for most championships, this would be a pretty big margin. But with there being 31 trucks in the field, that means there's a lot of ways that Elliott Kandra or Zane Bailey could both lose out the championship today. One thing that is for certain, Bailey will have the home advantage here.
Indeed, and it might just be a game of survival. Finishing solidly around your opponent for Zane Bailey is going to help him out quite a bit on the road. It's also starting on pole position, which is going to be a fantastic start to a fairly long day. I'll say that race here rarely ends exactly as it starts in something like the truck, so there's going to be lots of chances for drivers to get up and around. But with 31 entrants today on the track, about anything can happen to anyone, and Kandra's not far off his tail near the start.
Not far off of his tail at all, and all of this will take us to the Kansas Speedway proper, where it is 108 degrees Fahrenheit down there, 14 miles an hour of southeastwardly winds, which means not only is the track surface hot today, a lot of crosswinds to contend with, and that means trucks are going to be loose all day today. So could that potentially serve to break up some of the super speedway style nature that we're used to seeing at the Kansas Speedway in the trucks early on?
I think early on you have to be aggressive around it. You have to get your places before you really settle down, and there's so much space on the track that a lot of lanes are going to be runnable throughout the action. So this isn't something like Charlotte where it sort of calms down after a short bit despite being the same length. That said, I expect we're going to see some drivers overcook it, make mistakes, take it a step too far, maybe cut that tri-over a little bit too far. It's a very, very common place to cut just how flat it goes on the track. Got a huge turnout for a season finale. It's nice to see that season finales can have this many cars on the road, because usually there's a bit of a lack of interest, but we're going to get a very busy and excited field.
And that is, of course, what every league wants to see as well, right? Having such a big turnout for the final race is always spectacular. Not only do you have a lot of drivers returning, but I believe you might even have a couple of new names that haven't necessarily been here all season long. Might be looking even size of the competition entering the next season that SRA is going to have to offer as well. But for the time being, we are just 60 seconds away from the official grading process getting underway. The drivers' meeting just wrapping up a few moments. A lot of drivers doing well today as well. Wilbers, Burke, Bowaldo, Romero. Here is the kicker. Elliott Kandra, also one of those fighters who is going to have an end the longest lap penalty to start this race.
Still a long one though in order to make it to the end, and there's going to be cautions, there's going to be pit stops. 150 laps around there will take about an hour 20 if we don't go yellow at any point in time. It probably will happen with this many trucks ending up close to each other, and it can strike pretty much at any point around here during the race. So I think there's going to be so many chances to move up and down the pack. It's one of the reasons it's going to be such an interesting place to send the finale. I think it's a bit of a chaos choice, all things considered, to throw in at the end. But, you know, Dover was quite a single file, long run race. So maybe you do need a little bit of action to wrap up the season.
Well, we'll get set to see how this race is going to pan out this afternoon. In the meantime, it's time to see who will start where for racing action this afternoon. From pole, it's Zane Bailey starting his race to the #1 spot. And with the hot seat to potentially go out and win a championship, just 4th thou off the pace it's Dylan Wilbers and the Tonka number 21 Chevy Silverado. Row 2, how about Aaron Raymond bringing up the Remax number 6 Silverado? He's alongside the AC Delco Chevrolet of Mateo Mitchell. Row 3 in the field, Elliot Kandra was set to start 5th, but he will be sent to the tail. Tough break for him. He was looking to start up front. Not today, sunshine. He'll have an upward battle ahead of him. Jim Duda starts alongside him in 6th. Row 4, Paul Witt will start alongside Aaron May, and then Howie closes out the top 10. It's Scott Heidman and James Yerger.
Lining up in 11th, it's John Wilder Jr. next to Mike Campbell, then Ted Rickett next to Dale Rapp. Jeff Gilmore lines up in 15th next to Alex Romero, and Anthony Lane is in 17th next to Michael Allen. Thomas Lane Jr. in 19th is next to Joshua Highbar in 20th.
Continuing on down the field into 21st, row 11, it's Dean Ellard. He is alongside Michael Campbell. Julian Ballou will be down in 23rd. He is alongside Ryan Wayne. Row 13 holds Joshua Jernigan and Noah Swafford, with the likes of Cody Witt and Joshua Berg bringing it up. Row number 14. Row 15 will hold Robert Amaral and Jimmy Kovensberger, with George Rincon taking up the rear of a 31 truck grid. That 28 Goodweiser entry, the only contender not putting down a qualifying lap this afternoon.
So, as you mentioned before, and in fact I wasn't aware of this when I first talked about how close Elliott is, he will be starting from the back after penalties coming out from the last week.
Yes, sir.
But I don't think it's the end of the day here at Kansas of all tracks. This is a very, very attacking heavy track. It's an exciting one on the NASCAR calendar. Drivers love it because you can get a lot done here and you can do a lot of passing and a lot of racing. I mean, you really don't get to fly away from the pack. Zane Bailey's going to have cars on his tail all day long. And some are going to be getting runs. He might just need to give them up. He's going to buffer for now. I suggest if he's there, don't over-focus on where your opponent is. Just do everything you can in your position. You have the ball in your court. If you're further back, just think about all 150 laps and think about what's going to happen on this pack. Probably some carnage up and down the field. So you're going to have a lot of chances to get things done. And if your long run is good, then maybe the lead car gets unfortunate. You can't force the error out of him.
If you're Zane Bailey, you're going to be thinking all night long about how do you stay in front of the pack to get the best chance of walking out of here with the win. If you're Elliott Kandra, you're going to be thinking, how do you cleanly but quickly move your back to the field so you can get up there and want to contend for that final spot up for grabs. We will hold ourselves for one more lap here this afternoon, give ourselves a little bit of extra time here before we go to green flag race while the field is getting itself up and sorted. At this point, right, we talked a lot about what Kansas has to do to fight his way back to the front. What about Bailey? Because you want to obviously be in a good position to win, but you don't want to find yourself overdriving to where they're trying to run away from the field, because then you find yourself a sitting duck down the road.
Well, as I mentioned, sort of don't overdo it, don't overdrive it. You're not going to be able to actually really clear the field particularly well in the truck around there. I think the draft's going to have a lot of impact. Cars are going to be stuck behind you for a lot of the race, but really, I mean, you just want to focus on surviving and just roughly being in the same ballpark, because you've got a points buffer to work with. We should be able to provide you live updates throughout this race on exactly how the championship's going to pan out. It's yours to lose if you mess it up. So don't overthink it, in my opinion. That's going to be the main way you could lose.
So Zane Bailey will now lead the way. Mateo Mitchell be to his outside on the new and revised front row of the grid. Aaron Raymond and Jim Duda will be back on row number 2. We work our way through turn numbers 3 and 4. 15 weeks of racing has brought us down to just one final trip, 150 laps around one of NASCAR's most dangerous mile and a halves. And we're getting set to see who will close the books of the 2026 championship. Zane Bailey into the Sunoco Fields restart zone. It's go, go, go for the final time at Kansas. Zane Bailey getting away well at the head of the field. Joshua Highbow slipping down the field a big chunk early on. Bailey already cleared by 0.2 of a second going down into turn 1. Raymond punching through for the number 2 spot of Mateo Mitchell early on.
He actually is starting to get away just a little bit. I'm curious, though, as to how the rubber band effect is really going to stop him, because you can get some decent pace with your low power down this straight, moving down the track there. Aaron Raymond sort of cutting off drivers behind on the track. It's still pretty tight along the top of this field, but we have actually made it single file already.
Again, things down to 2 by relatively early on here. What you could say 1 by pretty early on here. There is Alex Romero, started his race from pit road. He is now 1 lap down, fresh out of pit road after having to take a drive-through penalty, at the end of the opening lap. And the Astro Glide number 3 will blend up outside of the top 10.
Keeping an eye on Elliot Kandra. He's up a few places, but he's taking this slowly. Not miles off the back of this pack right now. There's time to go, but he's not jumped up the pack either in tremendous pace. It's just a little bit of a time. He's got to think about the long runs. I mean, this has got, we're either going to go caution heavy, in which case you get chances there, or we're going to go long runs around here and you can make it up over time. 65% fuel limit, 6 tyre sets. They're wrecking it on the track though. That's the 04.
Oh, hands up.
Trying to jump around.
Everyone gets around Scott Hyman safe and sound. Zane Bailey did lose the lead of the race as a result of this caution. Aaron Rainbow will pick it up. Critically, Elliot Kandra. You saw him skate through on the inside line as well. So caution in just the opening 10 laps. And so it begins.
That pass for the lead, by the way, it was sort of opened up over the lap prior. Basically, Aaron Raymond just ran the top. Zane Bailey ran the bottom, and that top is going to have more momentum as the race goes on. Here's the incident, the 19, just running up a little bit too high into the 041, I think, and not really clear on there. And that's going to cause a bit of a cascade behind. That's a nasty shot there for the 52.
Yeah, Rekic ran into the, James Yerger ran into the truck in front and then ran up into Heidman as a result. Taking the jump back, right aboard with the 19 entry. There's 1, and there's 2. And then over Dale Rapp to go in the 52 as well.
So Zane Bailey already losing a place to sort of running his own line. Don't think he's overthinking it at all right now, though. He just decided to run the inside and got gapped on the outside where the pace is going to be higher around here on the track at the cost of your tyres. Worth shouting out, by the way, we have had a BOP adjustment to the trucks. They've made the Toyota faster. Just kidding on that, but actually we have 10% more power on these trucks. It is going to let drivers get away from each other a little bit more, as you need to control your entry and exit into the turns just a bit more than usual. Usually the lower power you get, the more pack racing you get. That increase to the power, 10% is not insignificant. It is going to change the flavour of this race.
Few trucks coming down pit road, fuel only for all except for Robert Amaral, who has taken 2 tires on his stop. Damage being repaired for Scott Hyman and Dale Rapp. No surprises there after they had a bit of a spot of bother with all of that. This is Elliot Kandra. What he saw, he is now up into 18th after starting from the tail of the field, and he skated through on the inside.
Being hyper aware of stuff like this is mostly the game you've got to play. You actually saw it on a full turn in advance. He was down the straight and already in the mid-turn the cars were sideways, so just hyper focus on it, just slow down, get to the apron in time. He was very clear. That's the sort of thing he's just going to have to do. Survive and hang in there, and then by the end he may end up being able to make up a difference.
James Yerger was sent to the tail, and he has also been black flagged now for entering a closed pit road, so that's going to be something he's going to have to serve under green, and that black flag has just been cleared, so unclear why, but evidently whatever he did, they deemed it was not worth it. So James Yerger will
he got an unusual passing under yellow, which can happen when the field hasn't formed properly. He's been given the EOL back to join the back of the field.
Makes sense. Fair enough. Fair play. We love it when iRacing does that, don't we?
My favorite. Love it when it ruins your official.
Well, the green flag set to drop once again here today, as we are gearing up for yet more racing action for the Kansas Speedway. It's going to be Aaron Raymond now leading the way. Zane Bailey, former pole sitter, starting to his outside. Back into the Sunoco Fields restart zone. And we're back on the way at the Kansas Speedway.
Inside line, a whole car ahead. Zane Bailey just not even on it right now. Outside's quite fast around here across your tyres, so you know, you see drivers pick up momentum, but it's really bogged down on that restart. He's quite slow off the jump. Yeah, Matteo Mitchell wants to make the move though, down for P1.
So Mitchell screaming down into turn numbers 3 and 4. Aaron Raymond trying to push up from the inside line. Mitchell will look to hold on as lap number 9 in the books. Mitchell, Raymond, May, 1, 2, and 3. Right behind them, Brekic clearing up from Zane Bailey. Zane Bailey has had a horrid restart here. Has dropped all the way back to 5th and is about to potentially come under fire from Jim Duda as well. The critical thing, he would still be your champion at the end of the night, given that Elliot Chandra is a long way behind him.
All he needs to think about is Elliott when the time comes, I think. All he needs to think about is the run against him, because he's got a points advantage in this championship, and not a tiny one. You know, like one where you'd have to have a fairly poor race, I think, to absolutely drop it. So I think he can happily lose a couple places here and there. Just settle into your long runs and don't make mistakes more than anything else.
Raymond and Mitchell continue to reign side by side. They run straight away. Mitchell almost getting into the door of Aaron Raymond as they made their way through the tri-oval. Back into turn 1. The AC Delco Silverado continuing to hold the inside. Raymond up on the top side. Aaron May still in the wings right behind, and Mitchell forcing himself clear.
Quite a tight battle between this top 3, and the gap to Wreckage behind is not insignificant. Holding each other up on the top now is going to let Aaron May sort of jump down to the bottom. A lot of drivers going to be cutting that tri-oval all day long. It's one of the easiest tri-ovals to cut in all of iRacing and in all of NASCAR, so you end up seeing a lot of it. Quite slow on the mid-corner though, and slippery on the exit.
Oh, Mitchell getting a little bit crossed up there as Aaron Raymond hunting for the outside line, and Mitchell nearly gets up into the wall as well. Yeah, man, they are trying to wreck each other, aren't they? As Aaron May now takes the inside of Mitchell, takes full advantage of that mistake into turn 3. Can he capitalize on the other side in the 1 and 2? Trying for the inside, getting a little loose from the air wash, and Mitchell gonna pull clear again.
Dudar on the bottom, I'm noticing, making contact there with Wreckage. Rather misses the bottom, sort of moves him up a lane just in order to make it through the turn. Here we are, pack racing at the front of the track here, really, because this is the 5-car extravaganza. Car in the middle washes up wide there. Oh, you really think something horrible is going to happen any second now. Look at how compressed this field is too. It's now 9 cars in it. Julian Ballou, last one in the train, and I think more are going to join very soon.
As contact with Duda and Wreckage coming down to the turn number 3. Duda gonna force the issue, gets around the 27 to 27. Repaying the favor, and Duda takes him out on the front straightaway. Both trucks spinning into the infield grass. Caution comes out, and that got ugly between the 27 and the 053. And everyone's got to stack it up now to wait for that pace car.
So the turn just before the 27 got into the back of the 53. The turn before Jim Duda goes on the microphone and goes, "If you touch me again, I'm not going to be so gentle about it." And then he gets cleared in from the rear, exiting turn 4. And at that point, all bets are off. I know how this is going to end, and that is he is not going to care about how his little conflict with the 27 goes. He did definitely get lent on for like lap after lap after lap there. That was pretty brutal.
So this is the look here. From here, it almost looks like Duda comes up, but it's hard to tell. We do know that Duda quit himself. Wreckage obviously was not happy about it. Give him a nudge, and Duda washes up the track and just cleans them both out. I mean, I get the frustration, but I mean, you kind of hurt yourself more than your opponent with that one.
He was also, he might have been commenting to Aaron May, so because I think May was leaning on him the turn before. So that might not have been like a retaliation move, but it might have been a I've been touched now for 2 laps in a row, and I simply do not care anymore sort of move.
I mean,
because
you know, came down, Duda came up.
He'd be bumped. I mean, like the turn before, the lap before, the 10 of Aaron May was washing up into him wide like twice in the middle of the turn. So by the time this happens, he's like, I've been hit like 3 times by people in 2 laps. Now I'm mad about it. Maybe that could be that.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, lap 16 of 150, right? I mean, it's a little bit of an overreaction.
He should kind of stuff lucky he got away with it with very minor damage then. That will be fixable in the pits. Indeed, you know, there is a risk versus a reward sort of element in asserting yourself on the track early in a pack race, especially near the front. The whole field's quite lucky.
Oh dear. Well, Aaron Raymond will lead the way.
You made that noise only because I tuned into the last championship finale in a NASCAR series you broadcasted, and we're not going to evoke that one. We're not going to evoke that one until absolutely necessary. We're expecting good vibes here between our contenders.
Well, I mean, we'll see. It's a long race. It could go either way.
Yeah, make me think, make me scared. At least I'm here for it now.
Raymond, Mitchell, Wreckage, May, Witt, Bailey. The top 3 rows every restart. Zane Bailey has slipped further and further into the clutches of the midfield, while Elliot Kandra has clawed up more and more ground. The 09 now running all the way up to 11th. So good progress being made for the Tier 1 SetupShop.com Silverado.
Can't just now gotten over those early race blues of like I'm wildly out of position and need to work my way up. Gone a little bit lucky a few times, but like now he's in a place where, you know, his rival is a couple rows down the line and a real battle could begin between the 2 of them, I think. That's exciting.
Green flag in the air. Oh, in trouble already.
No,
One truck.
wrecking.
And that is Aaron May, who has just spun it. Yellow flag is out. Quick succession on this one. Not sure what caused this, but I would have to imagine probably wheel spin off the jump.
Yeah, you'll catch the replay. If you catch it from above Aaron May, you'll very quickly see what happened to him. And that is I mean, I'm surprised you can get wheel spin in the trucks, to be totally honest, but we are also running 10% power. So it's nothing to do with what goes on up ahead. Aaron May on the outside, he does get loose and then drops low right into the path. From above, you can sort of see that that truck slides more than it drives its way there. I assume he knew he wasn't clear.
I would hope so. I mean, it's it's right on the restart. I would hope he knows he's not clear, especially when he's on the outside line. This is from above.
I was in the chase, but that doesn't look like someone turning his wheel to me. Sort of like the front sort of slides its way there before the rear.
Yeah, the rear outran the front a little bit on that deal. So our third caution in just 20 laps, although you could almost call this one an extension of the last one. One truck incident, and you know, credit to them, that could have been a much worse incident. Usually you see a restart where somebody spins on the outside. it leads to a massive pileup. Only one truck actually going all the way around.
A few drivers are deciding to just do their pit stops now. I think one change time, Mike Campbell has changed tyres. I also believe John Bowalder Jr. has. The rest have just been doing fuel top-offs. When you have such a limited tank, you want to add flexibility to your pit strategy sometimes by just always topping off that tank. If we're in the bottom half, there's not too much to lose, and then things can get a little bit crazy near the end of the race. That's what I think is going on. Drivers up front see no need to right now. They're 20 on the stint, but it's a stint that's been slowed down a lot. They've been having a lot of fuel saving in the tank.
Aaron Raymond, I'm sure, is loving this because he's just been able to log lap after lap after lap in the lead. Mateo Mitchell right now sitting just a little ways behind. Let's check in on what the live points are looking like throughout the top 5. Right now, points gap between Bailey and Kendra down or up to 19 points, but there is only 5 separating Bailey from Kendra right now on the racetrack. So if Kendra can get ahead of Bailey, then every spot up would mean more for him, and every spot down for Bailey would also obviously help out that 09 as well. But for the time being, if Bailey got to the front on the long run, it's hard to keep anybody from catching him.
As long as he's ahead, he's good. And it's not even a game of like who's ahead, because there's a more than just a 1 point difference. Wins have made up difference in there. Canada's going to finish meaningfully ahead of Bailey, which is completely possible given the race that we've had. Completely possible. But Bailey is trying to drive fast, trying to drive consistent, trying right now to just make sure this all ends safely for him. As I've mentioned, safety is about all there is to it, I think, for these drivers that's going to help him out. Are we going to get ourselves a nice green flag run, though? That's the question. They might need to group up a bit more on the top lane.
I'm sure they're fine. Nothing's ever happened bad from drivers lagging back before.
Nothing ever in the history of oval racing. This would be a green flag TV first.
Green flag coming out this next time by as Aaron Raymond jumps on the loud pedal in the Sunoco Fuels restart zone. Tanner Rekic getting a little bit crossed up as well as they cruise their way down into turn number 1. Rekic still holds the outside, and Julian Ballou trying to hunt for the outside line as well. Paul Witt and Dylan Wilbur still 2 by as well as they make their way off of turn 2.
It's worth shouting out that we still have complaints about contact on the voice chat, by the way, from some of the same drivers that have been involved. So I think a few are starting to get a little bit too physical, a little bit too early on the track, and
really,
lots of time to go. You don't want to make enemies. Surely not. This pack mostly settling out, though. Not completely single file all throughout, as you can see on your screen right now. This is around Condra's position. Now he's approaching Bailey, but he's going to need to do better than just approach him. Long race away, but Zane Bailey's been sort of recovering from some of his poorer restarts. Julian Ballou's up 23, up from 23rd, by the way. That would be 18 places.
A good run for Julian Ballou up into the top 5 now. Make that 19 as he just punched his ticket into 4th. Elliot Cantor still trying to work his way to the inside of Dylan Wilbers. Aaron Raymond loose out of turn 2. And here comes Mateo Mitchell trying to challenge back into 3 and 4. Mitchell holding the outside line. Raymond sweeps up in front of him. Zane Bailey no doubt wants to get in on the action as well.
1, 2, 3 in tow. Ballou's a little further back, and he's being challenged by Rekic anyway. Aaron Raymond had to lane off the bottom. Might have some good momentum up there. Mateo Mitchell might be eyeing up a potential pass.
Oh, boy!
Some carnage down near the back. Why not?
That's Elliot Kandra, one of the championship contenders that got pushed onto the apron by Tina Eller.
And Jim Kolmensberger is in the wall below the apron. He's going to be able to recover. And Kandra hasn't dropped a million miles, by the way. He is in 10th. There was a bit of a check-up between the 95 of Dean. There wasn't any contact, but Dean Earhart sort of got loose in front of Kandra, and so both had to sort of take evasive action to make sure we avoid. I just heard the loudest shut it on the mic ever. People are really mad. It's like, this was the moment. Both are pretty okay, but it was evasive action after that 95 gets loose, and Kandra just avoids it the whole way down. Neither have lost that much from it.
That could be a championship saving one as well. And there's Jim Collinsberg getting spun down to the inside. He got loose, and he is going to go into the inside wall. Jumping back up to live pictures because you can never stay on the machine for too long. We got a race like this panning out. Bailey, Mitchell, and Moore all under a blanket. Ted Rekic hunting for the inside line of Julian Ballou. Ballou push up the racetrack. He's going to catch the turn 4 wall.
Staying pretty clean in line right now. Further up, not quite having the intense pack racing we saw last run. I think Ted Rekic, I'm describing a bit of a cork in this bottle right now. He's sort of preventing others from really catching the field. Further down, though, Bailey just sort of trading second back and forth with Mateo Mitchell. The best line on this track isn't actually becoming immediately clear to me because sometimes passes on the bottom are working, sometimes on the top are working. Bit of a cover-up. Wreck on the front stretch, though, will be our next yellow.
And it's Dean Ellerts. How about that? Up into the outside wall. And he's got a lot of damage on the front end of that 95 Kenzie's machine. So one of the Silver Fox Racing contenders going to be sent to the rear. And look at all, he's got even more damage on the rear, and the motor's just expired.
Make that our first. Make that our first retirement of the day. That's rough.
Wait, what is going on? I mean, they've been running clean most of the season, and it's all falling apart in the season finale here. Let's take a look back, find out what happened to Dean Eller.
Welcome to Kansas. I warned. They did not listen. He's loose again. He's just been struggling all race so far. He just got tagged in the way, but you know he's already loose. The other car's actually really a victim there.
That was one of the Campbells that got collected in a hard hit into the wall for the 95 entry is what's going to spin him all the way down to the inside. And he tried to limp it back into the infield to see if he could get to his box, but it just wasn't doing it at that point when he going that quick.
So, a return to the yellow running.
Fourth yellow flag of the afternoon, and it is continuing to get intense as yet more trucks down pit road. This time, we got almost the entire field coming in.
It's got to be around the time the run should be ending. So, you know, now at this point, makes sense. There is more argumentation on the mic than I'm used to in this league, I'll be honest. I think tensions are already high with 31 laps into 150. Just everyone talking to everyone about how these wrecks are happening. Really.
It's just it's trucks getting loose from the wind. I mean, there's not that much to it.
We've already seen a bit of tension in contact. Jonas Wilder Jr. leads the field, not quite what he was going to lead the field out of pit road, but he is so John Wilder Jr.
He missed his stall.
He missed his stall, and he's going to have to try that again.
He will lead, but not for long.
Leading a lap?
I don't think it counts. It's not going to count, actually, because he's going to have to come down pit road. He's not going to make it to his stall before Raymond gets him back for the lead.
He still gets to have P1 on his little marker for a little bit. Here he comes. No unusual strategies in the pit lane to my knowledge. In fact, Cody Witt had a shorter time in his box. He might have only taken 2 tyres. No, he didn't even take tyres. But he's quite far back in the pack, so that's not going to completely affect the complexion. So drivers are asking, can we do our restarts without starting on the apron? And in my opinion, maybe, yes, we should. because, I mean, like Aaron Raymond has been like starting on the apron for some of these starts. But I don't know what the official ruling is on that.
I don't even know why you would do that in the first place. It's a net disadvantage to start on the apron. The banking helps give you a little bit of extra grip. I don't see the logic here.
Leader gets to choose whatever he wants to do. He's in control.
Guess. I mean, to be fair, if one truck does it, that doesn't mean everyone else has to, though. I mean, no one's forcing the whole field to go down.
I think it's more, it is causing confusion on the row behind on passing. The rest of the field aren't doing it, but like the leader's just wildly out of line from the rest, and that's why people are asking about it.
I guess. I mean, rule's pretty clear, though. Once the green flag drops, you can pass to the outside before the line. That's always been the rule.
Admin warning, watch the wheel spin. Think a few might be victims. We're green again.
Green flag back in the air. Aaron Raymond hightailing down towards turn 1. As Mateo Mitchell going to jump up to the outside line, trying to get around him into turn numbers 1 and 2. Raymond continuing to hold on to the top spot. Jim Duda clearing up from the inside. 3 wide already behind. Didn't take long for them to open up that third lane. Mitchell trying to go for the high side. Entering 3.
Good run away from our top 2. Gap behind. Zane Bailey having the race he needs to, but Conjur's up to P6 now, so the battle might be on, and if Conjur sort of approaches the lead of this race, that might be when we need to look at some championship standings again. Probably not until at least Conjur's ahead on the road. That's not inevitable, but he certainly has worked his way up from that end of line to here, so, you know, I think anything's on the table now, and these two drivers have fought each other so well.
Only one truck separating the pair, and it is now Jim Duda as we make our way back into turn numbers 1 and 2. Raymond resetting fastest lap of the race. Not like it means much because Mateo Mitchell hot on his heels and now looking for the inside line, heading down to turn numbers 3 and 4. And Mitchell's got the advantage on the number 6 from the inside lane.
Might just be some trading for this lead, and I wouldn't overfight it if I was one of these two drivers. I would just run my line, and as long as I'm running my pace, I don't need to be winning right now. One run is what matters to me, and if both drivers want the lane they have the lane they have, although I do understand you always want to be passing people, that's the fun part. Conjur up to where he qualified now in P5. Paul Witt's behind and Duda's ahead. Still pretty sensible out here. We're going to approach the end of the first third quite soon, as time flies around here.
It really has already, almost 40 laps deep into this one, as James Yerger trying to hunt for the inside of Alex Romero. No room for him, though, or at least for now, needs to close up by about another truck length or two. Elliott Cantra starting to slip a little bit as Paul Witt looking for the inside. Up front, Aaron Raymond. Once again, as Mateo Mitchell challenging for the inside. That time by Mitchell led the lap. Raymond pinched him in, entering turn 1. And we're going to continue to cruise this one, looking for 3 wide now for the top spot.
There's a lot of space for it here. There's a lot. I'll say, though, that Conjur can now very much see and has passed Zane Bailey on the outside lane. Bailey slowing. That's Conjur's car on the outside lane of the 3 wide. Make it 2 now.
So evidently Elliott Cantra, when he lagged back, it was to set something up because now he's already punched his way around Zane Bailey. Paul went to the outside of the 09. Wanted to get that run going as well. Mitchell starting to run away with the lead of the race as well, but is he burning his equipment up too early in this run? Most trucks in the field on fresh 4 Goodyear Eagles as well, which does not make this any easier. Look at Baloo sweeping up the racetrack, shutting down the outside attack from Dylan Wilbers. Cantra cannot get clear of Paul Witt.
It's getting tight in this midfield. Still though, yeah, he's not clearing, he's not getting away. Just about, but you know, once you're close to other trucks around here, you stay with him for quite some time, and it's hard to really break free without pushing hard, even with the extra power that they've been given for this race.
Oh, from behind, Romero and Yerger making a little bit of contact. So far able to hold it, but it's yet another bone of contention that this field's going to have with each other, as we've not been able to get more than 5 laps in without some kind of contact somewhere on the racetrack.
And now, I mean, look at the gap for the top 3 is about 9/10 away from Paul Webb. So they're doing something he isn't. Our championship contenders. Tight as they can be, this is the battle that really matters. And you'll have to confirm on points, but I don't think something like this is good enough for Kandra. It's a start, but the gap is a little bit bigger than 1 or 2 places. He needs to gain the bonus by pushing further down.
Elliot Kandra, Julian Ballou, Zane Bailey, Jeff Gilmore. Sweeping up from the inside, as Ballou will take to the inside of Kandra now. Bailey, Rekich, Gilmore. 3 trucks under a blanket, 7th through 9th. And Dylan Wilbers getting a little crossed up from behind as well. He gets loose. That lets him come under fire from Ryan Wayne. Aaron May, who's been involved in earlier incidents, he's now trying to power his way back through as well.
Trying to get it pretty close to cover a couple I see on the circuit, still getting a bit loose and uneven with each other near no matter the lane they're running. Surprised by the looseness, but I guess the wind must be doing that to them. So it usually must be the wind is a bad excuse, but actually it genuinely is what's happening on the track here today. So, you know, take that. Still another big pack here, and you can see the gap ahead down the line. This is sort of the next big one. This is Zane Bailey's as well. A few drivers blinking in and out of existence. That's not just you. A few more unstable connections than usual. His pack's starting to compress now.
That's Ted Rekich fighting with Jeff Gilmore. They were 3 wide with Zane Bailey on the outside. Gilmore, one that's blinking, was caught in the middle. And right behind them, Wilbers, Wayne, May, and Romero. Look at them wobbling all the way down the back straightaway. And they all nearly wiped each other out that time through as well.
Now a second between Paul Witt and Jem Dudar. So that top 3 are pushing like you've never seen before and getting miles and miles away. We have a pit call, by the way, from Mike Campbell, the 71. Wonder if he's only an isolated example, only 15 into the run. It seems a bit early. Well, there's our next yellow.
And it is for Amaral and Buwalda.
Yeah, Buwalda's called this one straight away, by the way. Oh, yeah, you'll see that one coming out in advance. Unfortunately, Amaral's got a meatball from it.
Tough break on this one. And this is what happens. Put us under the 5th caution of the night. So there's Campbell trying to go for the inside. Where has Amaral come in on this one? He's made his way back. Am I confused? I'm confused. There we go. There's Buwalda. There's John Buwalda,
and Buwalda's
Jr.
just stuck in the wall. So then Buwalda's just stuck in the wall, and then his only way down is going to be a harsh, bad road down. And unfortunately, it's the 70 that eats the meatball for that hit.
Yes, sir. Unfortunate. Well, caution is out for the 5th time today. We'll take a step back. We return. Racing Action continues on Green Flag TV. Stay with us. This is looking to be a wild one as we close out this championship.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Green Flag TV, where we are just about set to go back at it here for the SRA IEL Truck Series in the season finale. Right now, Aaron Raymond continuing to lead the way. Jim Duda to his outside, right behind him, Julian Ballou and Elliot Kandra looking to fight this one out. You said right around when Kandra gets ahead of Bailey, that'd be the time to check in on the standings. Well, let's check in on him now. Not too much movement, still 13 between the two. But it's better than the 19 that it was earlier on.
So now Kandra's in a position where unfortunately it's slightly out of his hands what he does, in the sense that he's ahead and he has to hope that Bailey runs into disaster. That's the game, and there's still so much time for it. We are now going to hit the third mark through the race when we hit the green flag, pretty much exactly. I mean, but like, if Kandra finishes top of the pack, the most you can say to him is you did everything you could today. You know, absolutely everything. And this, you know, you've got to take that home with you. Bailey shouldn't panic. I don't know if he knows where he needs to finish in comparison to his opponent. I think there's a chance if he panics and overthinks this and doesn't know the gap, he does something stupid and takes himself out. If he just runs his race where he's running it now, he's pretty home clear.
Green flag back in the air. Jim Duda way sideways as he got up there in out of the groove. Elliot Kandra with a black flag for pass before the start finish line. You'd have to imagine that would get clear, right? Because he had to pass Duda on the bottom. He had no choice.
Oh, there's some controversy in the chat about this, so I'll keep you updated between the two.
Surely they
because the driver in front seems to think he was pushing him to even cause that situation. So there's a degree of controversy there between them, and I'm going to keep a very, very, very close eye on that. Duda's really mad about being pushed to that start. And Kandra sounds like he's going to take it.
You're kidding me. There's no way, surely. Take the ride on board. This is at the moment of the black flag. This is on board with Elliot Kandra. He never touched him. He never touched him. I don't know what Jim Duda's getting so upset about. Kandra never touched him.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get in there with how we can just for a minute. He has actually stopped in the pit lane.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Because it can be a strange cam. It can be a strange cam. I have to analyze. I have to go in my chase cams. They're not broadcast safe.
Trying to get one more look back at this one. This will be, we'll try to get a look at this one on top.
I see a push from my angle. I see a push from my angle here.
So this is from, I mean, even here, right? But that's side on. He isn't touching him.
See, yeah, but like there's a netcode thing in there. I just don't think the car moves up high like that. Because I've got a perspective that sort of sees the sort of thing that happens when you plow into someone a little bit from the rear, even if the prediction code sort of doesn't quite show contact. I'm kind of willing to believe it, to be honest.
I mean, I can see a truck shooting up that high if it got wheel spin off the restart.
It seemed in line with me, with what I'm used to, when someone is sort of giving someone a push, and also their car kind of knows how it feels in that. I mean, race directors didn't even report in though. They just sort of let that one hang, and so he has made those run through the pits. He's still on the lead lap. Cautions could still change this race. Although, I mean, the field's coming up on him now. Do keep in mind it'll be the only car lapped if this happens. So again, cautions could change up the race.
I don't understand that. Zane Bailey continues to push clear for the bottom. Julian Ballou catches the outside wall. Aaron Raymond getting involved as well. Tanner Rekic, Jeff Gilmore, and Scott Hyman continue to battle this one out as well as they cruise their way into turn numbers 1 and 2. Gilmore trying to look for the high side as Hyman trying to push Rekic up for the bottom lane as well. They are in a fierce fight for 5th on down.
Well, it's certainly made today a bit more relaxed now for Zane Bailey, who's not only just got the lead, but has a rival that is quite some time back. But we've seen chaos and calamity on the track today. We've seen a lot happen already. I think anything can happen between now and then. Right now, better racing in the back of the field, really. 3 wide, why not? There's even space for 4, sometimes I say. I'm beckoning them on dangerously. So, the middle line there, the 053 of Jim Dudon gets the better jump out of the 3, though. But I think they'll be back on his tail soon enough. Every lane seems to have some viability.
Dudon push over the inside. He clears from Ryan Wade. Alex Romero leaning on the back bumper of the Atom by Atom number 39. Still have Mike Campbell in the mix here as well. That's Michael Campbell trying to make that look down to the inside as well in the number 72. Under 100 laps to go. An SRA IEL Truck Series action here this afternoon. And Kendra could be in trouble unless he gets another caution here pretty quickly to save him from going a lap down.
Kendra would need a caution to save him if he ends up a lap down. The lucky dog will play an effect, but there has been chaos in this race. I'd be surprised if we just run totally clean and green now for 100 laps after the early start we've had, even though that is a bit of a doom statement for you. I'm sure that's not the sort of thing you want to hear. And hey, it's late at night for me, so do I really want to hear it either? Good passes here by Joshua Highbar, able to clear a few cars on the way out. Bit of a tap against the wall. Zane Bailey's running away with it at 07 tenths. He's just out of here.
Well, like I said, when Bailey gets out in front, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that can try to run him down on the long run. He just needs the chance to get those tires up the Tim so he can stretch his legs up front after he breaks clear of all that dirty air from behind. Well, all of this has led to a lot of drama so far in just the opening 60 laps. And if this is how much drama and how much tensions there are running in the opening 60, how much is there going to be in the back 60 of this one? Aaron Raymond, I think, has caught the wall hard.
Yeah, that was a bit of, was that? No, it almost looked like car contact that led to it, but actually it wasn't quite that. It was Scott Heineman ran up behind him, and I actually do wonder if there's a bit of an aero push, aero wash moment that led to this. It almost doesn't look like the truck gets totally loose on its own. It looks like there's a chance the aero pushed him up the track like that. I mean, however it happens, in the wall, able to recover, but tough. And I mean, another one, these trucks are incredibly aero sensitive. They sort of have like a force field, like you can push them around if you really know what you're doing. And I think a few cars getting really close to others at high speeds are leading to these unusual snaps. Oh, we're yellow again.
And that saves Kendra's bacon. It's Joshua Burke around entering turn 3.
Make it a big race reset. Don't think it's Joshua Burke. I think it's the other Joshua. Actually, Joshua Jernigan is the one that's around.
And this is by himself.
This one's juicy. This one's juicy. No, wait for it. Wait for the point of contact. Wait for it.
Whoa! Hold on, sunshine.
Not quite.
They tried for the blowover at Kansas. Had one, I think, happen earlier this year. Not quite,
Trucks are getting so loose here. Trucks are just getting so troublesome to drive by themselves. As we're getting a lot of victims as well, because yet again, that 52, just total victim. Just like, oh, I was in the way of the truck that had problems. Great. You know, I take more damage now. Maybe seeing pit stops in some of this field because they've been about 31 on the stint. Some are 14 into the stint, so we're going to split the strategy midway down. Those who stopped earlier, and those that did not. The majority of the field coming to the pit lane now, but a few staying out. Most importantly, Scott Heidemann and Joshua Heibal, 14, 15 laps on the tyres, staying out at the front.
Well, this will help out Elliot Kandra potentially, unless Kandra also comes into pit road this time for fresh. He has. Okay. So not quite as much, but Heibal and Heidemann both stand out. That's the interesting one here. They're 50-lap full tires.
Kandra's running the long stint, but the numbers are affected because his pit stop affects the stint figure that you see. He is drive through the pit lane. So I think he was running the longer strategy that would have required a pit stop by now. Anyway, even if it showed 10. A lot of these drivers that did only 15, though, deciding to go in. Only 2 stay out, and that I know a lot more that stayed out, you know, halfway through their stint.
Take one more look back at this incident with Joshua Jernigan. As he's going to get loose, strikes the wall, comes back right across the nose of Dale Rapp. And then up and almost over. Got up on top of the 52's nose on his side. Left front catches, right front catches, and settles him back down on the wall 4s.
You love to see a blowover in iRacing. Unfortunately, I'm not going to blame NASCAR for preventing the blowovers. That's their responsibility. They've got real people in those cars. I'm going to blame iRacing for importing any changes NASCAR make to prevent the blowovers, like they're the fun police over here. Let us have our flipping fun.
It is amazing to me that for almost 2 calendar years now, iRacing has not had working roof flaps on these trucks, and I don't understand it.
Well, there still must be some physics modeling to prevent the flip, because that seemed like how to flip, you know, just totally do, and it didn't happen. So there's got to be some physics modeling on some of the anti-blowover, even if we don't have the flaps working in the same way. I don't know the tech, but I thought he would have gone over. Do you ever think about how, if you look at the shape of the anti-roll bars, like, these aren't trucks at all. They are just stock cars with a body that looks like a truck.
I mean, a little bit.
Messes with your brain. Messes with your brain.
John Bowalda Jr. What is...
Yeah, I think he's getting strange race control calls. He'll just... That's how he'll duck out of it.
Okay. Coming to pit. Okay, fair enough. All right, green flag back in the air. Scott Hyman off and away. Heibal caught napping. Looking for 3 wide already as they thunder into turn number 1. You can tell this probably isn't going to last too much longer. They're all bunching up, trying to get around the outside of the 48. Everyone's stacking up big time. It's almost like someone hasn't found a gear as they come out of turn 2.
Bailey just flies into the lead like no one's business. Away you go. Bye-bye. See you later. Heidemann holding on decently well, better than his counterpart, but now going to start to drop. It seems silly to stay out because, unless you get another caution in 15 laps and then you have tyres, because there's a limited amount of sets here. You only don't have enough to change it every single stop you go. Maybe that's the play. But it still seems like you're sort of gambling on a lot for a payoff that, to me, doesn't necessarily seem like a guarantee. Although, again, if everyone's used them up and you have one more at the end, I guess that's your factor. Aaron Raymond actually swoops to the bottom to the lead out of Zane Bailey, and Julian Bellew's on his case as well. But it's, I think, it's a matter of place trading. And Zane Bailey, I think, right now is in maximum chill mode again. His rival back on the lead lap, but has to just start this again from the beginning. So I think he might just be in a relax or a let it happen mode.
Julian Bellew almost catching Zane Bailey as he fought his way to the number 2 spot. Approaching halfway, and it has been a journey tonight. I think would be the most polite way to put it so far. So he's hitting to pull out all the stops for the season finale out of what has been a relatively tame season. incident-wise, as there's a bit of 3-1 at the tail. That's Allen working his way around Campbell and Yerger.
Most important lap of the race, of course, lap 6-8 here. Very important to draw attention to that one. Lucas isn't here, so I have to do something, and I can't do his thing because he does his thing. He will not be returning on the account of 6-7 primes almost entirely. Front of this field, oh no one's breaking away now. I mean, there was a breakaway for a second, and now we're just back in the pack racing again. Doesn't seem like you can keep them up for very long.
Trucks are fighting a lot of loose conditions on this racetrack, and there goes Paul Witt now looking at the inside of Aaron Raymond, trying to stuff it in there, force the issue. And the Remax number 6 Silverado still going to retain that race lead, but Witt nearly caught the left rear quarter panel. Mateo Mitchell wants to fight his way back through to the inside. 3 wide now for the number 2 spot into turn 1.
As long as you guys are careful, I'll let you have this. As long as you guys don't touch each other. Yeah. Barely got away with that. Baloo's not the happiest on the microphone. We're going to go all the pent-up tension. All the pent-up tension in the world on the track as we run real close here on the inside lane. No one's making any inches on anyone.
80 laps to go as we drive her in deep into turn 1, as there goes Paul Witt looking for the outside. Raymond now makes contact, and Witt is taking no prisoners on Saturday night as he charges around the top side of Aaron Raymond into turn 3.
If you ain't first, you're last. That's what my dad told me. Maybe that's the mentality here on the track today. It's, I mean, there is a breakaway of sorts, and that is at 15th is a miles, 2 seconds back on 14th, so there's like 2 packs we race on. But other than that, we're just doing anything and everything. I just wouldn't battle like this if my long race was in contention, because this has to not be pleasant to tyres. Doesn't really matter. I think I had fun out there, and that's really what matters. You want to push to win a race. You don't necessarily want to think about the 75 laps from now. I think Raymond will lead on the strike this time, but that's always trading, always moving. Don't make it whip. Don't make me call a race finish that close.
There is 5 total sets of tire changes, so they do have a bit of excess to work with this afternoon, as Paul Witt really looking to pinch down the driver of the number 6. Try as he may, Witt has been unable to find a way to get around that number 6 from the inside line. You're right on board with Witt now, lifted out of the throttle, and that's going to allow Raymond right through as Witt's now fighting a loose race truck coming out of turn 4.
10 laps in and we're getting loose. These trucks are building loose. They are running a custom setup, and you can make a custom setup to build loose over a run. And I wonder if that's what's happening. I'm surprised it's biting all of them quite this early.
And you saw Mitchell run to the back of Baloo that time by as they come down the back straightaway.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of oh God, it's getting painful.
Baloo loose again in turn 4. At this one, you'd be wondering if there's grease or something on the racetrack, because holy cow, the amount of slipping and sliding has been absolutely insane this afternoon. And the 82 entry pushing up from the inside line. He's so far able to hold it. Zane Bailey has to scramble to avoid near contact with Alex Romero down the back straightaway. And still, we continue to hold it in a fierce battle for 4th on down. Wreckage at the moment is the cork in the bottle.
And once that, I mean, he's been that before, but once it opens up, I think there'll be a bit of a floodgate. Wreckage's been sort of running his own race, but his race has just been about fast enough. What a change from last week's action, which was very, very single file, very, very tire preserving. This is just, you know, every single truck for itself out here today. Push as hard as you can and hard as you might. Interesting, though, that look at Zane Bailey and Elliot Kahn.
We're around big time. Elliot Kahn has been taken out, and he's got big damage now into the infield, as one of your championship contenders is spun straight into pit road. You can see that one coming a mile away.
Rekic is on the most legendary run, by the way. Like, he has been pushed too many times, too many today.
So this is going to be the look here as coming around 3 and 4. And we're all stacking up in front. I think Rekic may have been run into up front. And then into the outside wall goes Baloo. There's Elliot Kandra catching a piece. He spins across the track. There's the hit with Ryan Wayne. And that is what is going to spin the 09 right into pit road and give him a black flag for his troubles.
He has had that one cleared.
Okay.
That's been cleared. So, but I mean, is that truck running well after that sort of contact?
Yes.
I'm not sure. The software has considered that a pit stop and considered his stint length to be 0. So, you know.
Was contact between Duda and others.
He literally just was shouting, like, how many more times am I going to be running into this race? That's sort of like Superman about it. No, the other driver.
Ah, Rekic. Yeah,
I forget names easily.
That one does make sense, unfortunately. Good save, though. I'll give him that.
Anger. Some drivers stopping, but actually I think it's mostly just the victims of the wreck stopping. It's interesting because that's the very second Kandra gets back up to Bailey. The second he gets back up, Fate just like throws another curveball at him and he's got to now repair his truck and return to the back. It doesn't look totaled, but he's going to sit in that pit lane and take everything he can.
Rekic getting a little close to the back bumper of Jim Duda. I think expressing a little bit of displeasure here. These are two drivers, Howie, that have some rather unfriendly history between each other, particularly at Kansas Speedway between the 27 and the 053. So I'm not too surprised this is coming in blows again here today.
I think the person with the fewest incident points today deserves the championship. Call it like that.
Fair enough.
Might be Zane Bailey. I don't know if he's hit anyone today.
It actually might be. You're not even wrong. He has been running a very clean race all day today, hasn't he?
So, you know, when you're having problems keeping it green and clean on a race, what do? In my personal strong opinion, what you do is you rack up the field double wide again, and you just get going again. You know, hey, it's fun for us at home. Don't need to be thinking about that. That's Amore.
So it'll be 71 laps to go when we take the green flag. Howie, it's been a journey so far, and again, I'm going to reiterate this from earlier. If that was what the first half is like, I fear for what the second half is going to do to us.
My gut tells me it might get better.
You reckon?
I can't tell you where that comes from. I can't tell you where that comes from.
You reckon?
That's just, yeah.
I like
feel
the
like
optimism.
This is some pent-up anger we need to get out of our systems before we learn. The beatings continue until punishment, until morale improves. You know, morale will improve.
Well, we need some optimism up here, so we may as well get it from the booth. Green flag back in the air as Aaron Raymond is hightailed it out of here. Rekic looking to the inside on Jim Duda. No surprise, he's taking no prisoners here. And he's going to immediately shove Duda up the track and sending a message there as the 27 to the 053.
And there's more rage further back in the field because there was a little spin ahead of Wilbers. Like, legitimately, I've never seen this many people heard. We need to get some radioactive on this race or something. I've never heard this many people just utterly furious with everything. Because like Will was looking ahead at it going, you guys need to stop wrecking each other at the same time that people are getting wrecked into are mad about it. Oh, they're still going. Oh.
It takes you right back to the good old C-Fixed Open lobbies. You'll love to see it as racing continues on. It's looking a bit calm up front. Let's check back in deeper in the field. This is around Cody Witt, Thomas Lane Jr., and of course, Elliot Kandra trying to battle his way back through the pack. Scott Hyman and Noah Swafford also in the mix.
What a pack race. And these never-ending disaster. And in fact, we've just been running green the whole time, actually. I'm pretty sure. Don't really know about any reports of any trouble up to now. Might just be misinformation. I'm not sure. It has been exciting, though, when it's been going out, but there has been a bit of a sense of, like, you know, the passes themselves, they're not the passes to determine this race. Some of them are getting traded back and forth. It's about sort of the general trend of your run, rather than who you make it past at every single moment. You can tell from Zane Bailey's pace he's relaxing again. Trying to look at Conjur's pace, I mean, he's a little bit off the leaders, although not substantially. I think he's probably good enough on that truck to keep running. He sort of like is the guy that you're beating down and he just gets back up and you can't get rid of him. You know the picture from The Simpsons.
I actually don't know if I do.
The meme you kick Barney out of the bar and he just shows up behind you.
Oh yes, of course.
That's the idea, Kanja.
Well, Mateo Mitchell now looking to the inside of Ted Rekic as the field continues to fight its way through. There's Alex Romero, Jim Duda, and Joshua Highbow pushing up from the inside. Romero catching the wall just a little bit, but all's well ends well for him. Romero continuing to hold that top lane with Duda down low. Dylan Wilbur still caught up in the fray as well as we hunt out of turn 2, down the back chute. And head on, you can see everybody coming at you on what has so far been a brutal race for emotions, for trucks, for tires, and everything in between.
Has been a day of the carnage out here on the track for sure. Aaron Mayman's got a solid lead. Some more cars that are going to get potentially laps on the road, I think, are heavily damaged. And that's why I see a couple that's Jim Coleman. Is it Jim Coleman's driving the next one? It's John Wilder Jr. Seems to be running a really damaged truck right now, so he'll be down the road. No more relevant battles on the track, though, here, of course. Everybody, I think, has got something they're shooting towards. Now 23 laps into this stint. We're not a million miles off a pit cycle. We've yet to have one on the green yet. We've had some pit stops, but no true cycle.
Further from behind, Highbow looking for the inside. Mateo Mitchell wanted to charge through as well as Ted Rekic hunting this one up the works as well. There goes Aaron May all the way to the outside. That's going to let Highbow through. And the number 48, one of the highest positions that we've ever seen this 48 truck running in an SRA race. Now all the way up to third on 15 lap pressure tires. Compared to a good chunk of the other runners into this field. Aaron Raymond under fire. Here comes Mike Campbell, the 71 who's been spun already once today. Right to the point.
Seeing some new leaders out here today. No, so worth noting these two are top two on an alternate strategy though. They are about, they've taken tyres sooner, so now the difference between those tyres and those behind are going to be a big factor. James Yergel also did. So I expect this top two are going to be able to make a breakaway. See how this affects their strategy later. Aaron Raymond isn't miles behind. He's just not going to be able to catch him in the long run if we stay green for a good while. Now they're going to be offset from the rest of the field's strategy over the course of this race.
Highbow and Campbell still 2 by for the race lead as we take back to the front straightaway. 61 to go. And tries to make. Campbell has been unable to have an answer for the 48 truck down to the inside line. All this is doing is burning both of their tires up, running side by side like this. You're looking at 3+ laps now that they've been double file. But finally, the 48 truck is able to force the issue and get clear.
Certainly enjoying themselves out here on the track. And they're going to maintain this gap for a while. Paul Witt entered pit lane and just got a black flag for... Oh, I'm curious if he even... Yeah, he did intend to enter pit lane. He did it pretty poorly, slid his way in, so he's black flagged. Whoa, whoa! We jump into the bottom quite like that.
Wreckage
Third
slid
row back.
up. Yeah, the 27 slid up, caught the door of Aaron May, and then Mateo Mitchell made an aggressive dive down low.
Bit by bit by bit. We approach the final third of this race now soon. We're going to also approach that 30 on the stint. 30 isn't our guaranteed green flag stint length. It's just the longest drivers went before stopping, and there were cautions in the middle, and they might be able to squeeze another 10 out of there, but we know that there is a window that roughly starts around 30, and if a caution comes out, those who are close to 30 are likely to take the pit stop in line. Some drivers have a lot of stops so far, though, obviously. It's hard to track tyre count. Dylan Wilbers also enters pit lane and gets a black flag. So it seems the 2 green flag pit stops we've had so far have been disasters. And if you're wondering, driver chat has been disabled. So they don't even get to call their entries anymore. But as a consequence, we do get some peace and quiet on the airwaves.
I was going to say, I can't imagine why they would have done that.
We're seeing more green flag stops now, and Raymond's next. He's the first to actually get it done without a black flag. We are doing the pit cycle now.
Yes, sir. Pit stops currently underway, at least for a good chunk of the front runners. Aaron May, Zane Bailey, and more still running 2 by as they make their way down the back straightaway. Working our longest green flag run. Aaron May slowing dramatically. Maybe he's looking to come to pit road this time.
It's a bit hard when you can't call on a track like this as well, actually. It's quite a brutal entry to the pit lane. You need to really drop off the banking and then slow yourself up on worn tyres in time. So I'm not surprised it's catching some. Aaron May gets away with it. And obviously there's a handful of drivers. Our top 3 are on a different strategy. They'll be holding out longer. So are Michael Allen, Scott Heidemann, and Noah Swafford. Might be worth keeping around the stint counts on the tower, just because there's going to be a lot of alternating strategies on this board now.
Here is the current lap numbers for stints. Here comes Ted Wreckage looking to slide her in. Gets it locked down though, and he's able to make it into pit road safe and sound. Highbow, Campbell, Yerger, the top 3, Mateo Mitchell. The furthest driver up that still has to come to the box, Zane Bailey. Looking like he might be trying to come down pit road pretty soon here as well.
Mateo Mitchell wobbling on the back straight, so I think drivers on the tyres that are this old are going to be having some problems now, and they're just going to try and get it done. Here he comes.
I understand.
Makes it.
Yeah, I understand how he wanted to wait as long as you possibly can to come down. With the amount of caution this race, the last thing you want is to come down pit road and while you're in the box, be caught with a black flag, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're a lap down and you can't do anything about it.
Curious how these alternate strategy drivers are really going to make this race work in their hands now, because for everybody that's stopping now, there's a clear pathway. 2 stops and you're done. 30 laps, that adds up to 60, I believe. You know, it's late at night, so I can't guarantee my intuition. These drivers on the alternate strategy can do the same, and they're going to shorten one of their cycles by quite a bit, because they're about, 15 short on the rest. Like, they can now 2-stop whenever they want. But I'm just curious as to whether that actually, benefits them, or whether they're playing around the caution game or something else. Everybody now can make it and are off, but it's just these alternate strategy drivers are certainly going to have to cut one of these runs short. I don't know whether they'll hold this one out all the way to the end and then use that last set in case chaos ensues. I assume that's the plan, but it's going to lead to a unique split in this field.
Jim Coleman'sberger fighting it out with Joshua Jernigan into the moment as they are right behind Rick Cohn and Jeff Gilmore. All of these trucks still in the scrap as well for what is going to be a 4-way fight for the last spot inside the top 10. Jeff Gilmore still leading the way in this fight. Still have Hyman, Allen, and Swafford under blanket as well for 4th through 6th. Most of the battles from drivers that came down pit road have mostly broken apart because of obviously the different laps that drivers came down. I'm sure some will condense though as we move our way further through the green flag run.
Currently, Aaron Raymond is leading out of drivers that just stopped. That doesn't mean he's guaranteed the win. at the end of all of these cycles. Now he's going to just start flying by these old tyre drivers there. And you're going to see the difference firsthand. He's a lap down, as you are from making the stop under green. But he's going to just slowly earn that back bit by bit by bit. He could end up just seeing himself passing the leaders. And then if a caution falls, look who's in the most perfect position in the world. He's fast. I mean, other drivers, 10 Rettings is quite a bit far back. He's going to have that differential. But Aaron Raymond sort of taking it, putting it in his hands right now.
As Raymond clears for the outside. Going to real quick take a look at what's coming up here on Green Flag TV over the next few days, as tomorrow it was set to be the Motor City Racing IMSA Sports Car Championship. That will not be the case. They have moved their final race to next week. Blazing Pedals action will be racing at the Echo Park Speedway this Sunday. Howie, you're back in the booth with me down in Mexico City on Monday as the Belgian Simmers Federation's Belgian F4 Championship will swing south of the American border. Oh, hold on, as Michael Alley getting wicked loose. Among with others, of course, you have the season over the high tide. Okay, well, Hyman's just been taken out. There's going to be the caution fly that drivers are hoping for. Back up the track hard to the outside wall in turn one.
It's always when you don't want them to do it, isn't it?
Right?
It's always when you're like onto something.
They cut me off. I can't believe the audacity. Right when we're going through what's coming up here.
This has to be the reason this is the last SRA broadcast here, right? Just the way they cut you off.
It's obviously. But I tell you what, I mean, Scott Heidman, that truck has seen better days. That right front is history.
And I'll let you complain about what caused that. Because it's silly. It's silly, silly indeed, and not his fault.
Oh, of course. I mean, we know what caused it. It was 3 wide and one truck coming up from the apron
yeah, but
that
it's
brought
just
this
more
one
like
out.
coming all the way off the bottom and not spotting the car. And that's the risk of running the apron so much, you know.
There's Michael Allen down low. They had a bit of a piece of contact already that put Allen onto the apron. And then drifted up and just wipes out the 041. You know, a lot of leagues take the policy, right? I mean, if you go down underneath that apron, you know, that's fine. You can go there, but you're not on the racing surface. So if you come up, whatever happens is on you.
Quote, I unmuted the chat. If it gets out of control again, it will be down for the rest of the race. That is our official race control instruction.
Them's be fighting words. There's Allen, right? He got loose, and I think what really contributed to this is Allen was a little bit frazzled still from what had just happened. That's, I think, what led to a lot of this.
We did get a long run going. Oh, the chat had to be unmuted so people could start claiming cautions again. So,
I see.
You know, there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off there.
Fair enough. Well, as drivers make their way into pit road, we can continue to go through what's coming up on Green Flag TV as it is going to be the season opener for the High Tide Racing League at Daytona, the National Speedway, also running the trucks for the first time in their history. Justin Princeton, I'll be with you on Monday night. And where one series is opening, another is drawing to a close. OMSRL, with their final broadcast, will be at the Auto Club Speedway on Tuesday, where we'll see if Holden McGill will arrive to defend what has been a stellar points lead for him so far all season long. Mid-Atlantic Racing is action. We'll see us run to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Beer League will be back for more as well on Wednesday, as will the Speed Cup Series for the regular series finale at Watkins Glen International. It's a really big day. A lot of events either coming to a close or just kicking off. And among those races here, Howie, that is getting set to kick off, you have a brand new league coming to Green Flag TV, the Precision Motorsports League, an IMSA Style Championship, 4 classes, GTP, LMP2, or the GTG divided into Pro and Ams. Registrations are still open. Their season openers this coming Friday on Friday afternoon at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, with races that are 1 hour and 45 minutes in length. If you want to join this series today, you are free to do so. No entry fee. You can sign up via the Discord link in the description of this final SRA stream here as well. James Yerger will lead the way back to the green flag.
So, it's done interesting things to the field. Very few have stayed out, and a lot of those are not near the front, but Aaron Raymond's one of them. I'm curious as to how he's not leading. Oh, no, never mind. It's because he wasn't leading in the first place. But drivers like Raymond, who were doing well on those tyres, have decided to stay out one more time. Now, yet again, by the way, race control is just sending Boulder to the front of the field. They seemed to be confused last time this happened, and it's doing it again. So, you know, that's an iRacing moment right there. It'll be out of the way for our race start. There will be one more stop. Away we go.
Green flag back in the air as we hightail it back down towards turn number 1 here today on what has so far been an absolutely insane run of this one. There is Highval looking for the outside of Michael Campbell. Elliot Kandra trying to jump up to the top side of the racetrack. Caught him behind and around goes Joshua Jernigan on the back. Up into the air, spinning to the inside. Duda's collected. Raymond into the inside wall. Wreckage into the inside wall. Aaron May collected as well.
Yeah, they're back to arguing again.
Are we surprised?
Oh boy,
are we surprised?
Dear. No, they're losing their mind again. I mean, driver chat has been disabled. Pick line in the chat. Who
could have seen this coming?
There's never been a race. There's never been a race that's called for a radioactive more than this.
Oh dear. Taking a look at this one as Jernigan was slow off the line, and Aaron Raymond tried to look for 3 wide, got loose. Jernigan got collected up into the wall. He collects Aaron Bay. There goes Raymond, and Wreckage screaming to the inside. Duda just barely got nicked. Bailey made it through that, actually, and hard hits into the inside wall. What a save for Jim Duda, by the way, down on the inside of the racetrack. Good job.
How many more cautions today? How many have there been? Have you been keeping perfect count?
I think we're up to 8 now.
If you haven't. You think it's 8? I'm gonna lower you one on 7, and I can check the official count for you. So my bet is 7. You think it's 8? Don't check because I got this.
Right on board to the Jim Duda here while you're doing that. This is what the 053 saw, as he is just barely going to get nicked by Aaron May. Almost 90 degrees sideways at the racetrack. Kept it going. Damage on the right side, yes, but he did not go into the inside wall.
It's always more than you expect. It's 9 cautions.
So close. Off by 1. I'll take a margin of error of 1. It's been a stellar race so far today, and a lot of cautions so far in this one. A lot of racing and a lot of controversy. Let's check in again, because Zane Bailey was able to slip through that. This is what the point standings now look like. A little bit closer now. Kandra down to just 7 points from Zane Bailey. If Kandra could power his way through to potentially take a win, that would, of course, be big. I'm just double-checking what the points are. I believe you get extra points for winning the race. I'm just wanting to triple-check me on that one. You do not. Okay. You don't get extra points for winning the race, but that said, he is still up 7, and right now Bailey in 11th place, right in the midfield. Plenty of opportunities for things to go awry for the number 20. If it can't just steal this one to the buzzer.
I mean, yeah, he could make up places. I think Bailey could lose play. I think any mad stuff can happen all of the time. 24/7 on the circuit here today. I feel like we've learned that nothing's normal. I mean, I'm waiting for the blowover. That's the best way to wrap up this championship to me. Give it to us.
So it's going to be Yerger from Highbow, from Campbell, from Kandra, from Allen, from Gilmore. Those are the top 3 rows. 40-lap dash. We'll go green on lap 111. Still have a long way to go. And a lot that could go awry for either championship contender. Both Bailey and Kandra have been caught unawares by cautions or otherwise in this one. So it could very well be a toss-up as who walks out of this with the championship at the end of the day. Jurger will lead the way in the Cummins number 19 into the restart zone for Sunoco Race Fuels. And the green flag back into the air at the end of caution number 9. Hunting early into turn 1 is Highbow around the top side of Campbell. 2 by 2 behind, all the way down the back chute. One truck almost hit the outside wall.
48 washing a little bit high in the middle of the turn. It's 3 wide with Zane Bailey. He's got places to be now. Even though he sort of has the championship in his hands, if Kandra's ahead, he probably wants to make that gap as small as possible. So, chasing. Still alongside. Still close pack. Anything can happen here.
And I think that's it for Zane Bailey, right? I mean, he's got the points wrapped up, but with how crazy this race has been, you don't know if there's going to be any penalties post-race that impact the results, right? You want as much of a cushion as you can afford right now if you're a driver like Bailey. So he's doing everything he can to try to contend for yet another SRA championship.
It's going to take all the little steps on the road. James Jurgens will be able to fly away. No one else really able to compete. They might be slowing each other down, battling quite this close. Kandra definitely in his mind has places to make up, but how hard is he going to push for it? As I said, like he's done the Barney thing again. Like he's up just ahead of the pack after everything that's happened to him down the line. Well, no, Zane Bailey is on slightly older tyres. By a bit, it won't be ruining him now, but if we run all the way to pit stops, Bailey's going to have to stop first. Can make it to the end of one more stop, more than likely. He's going to have to stop first. And they're going to be on very different timings. It's going to be unique seeing which strategy really works. I think, thankfully, it's unlikely. If we can make it another 10 laps, we don't get a fuel race, which I'm sure the entire SRA community will be very happy about.
36 to go. Getting single filed up at the front of the field. Critically before Zane Bailey's been able to get around Elliott Kandra. And Bailey still caught side by side with Ryan Wayne. That outside lane has been real strong. Coming off the top side, especially off of turn 2. And you can see Ryan Wayne trying to make all the use that he can out of it. And as they get back around to the tri-oval, Zane Bailey should have the advantage from the inside.
Still some distance to make up, quite a bit, and he's gonna both fall off sooner and then fade off the track sooner, and he's gonna get that sort of 30-lap long run. It's going to be interesting to track all the way to the end. Kandra though is trying to climb up. He's battling for P4. P3 could also be likely if he makes it up to Campbell. He's fast and he's on a charge, and he's only got one place to be right now, and that is trying to be up in the lead. Very, very up high, that 57. Gilmore's out of the groove, but not out of pace, it turns out. Everything seems to work here.
Whoa! What in the world was that? As Gilmore and Allen both got crossed up on the back straightaway, and Gilmore hit the wall.
Oh, it's getting, we've even got more slightly up in the wall. Be careful, people. Be careful. Here's the on board.
Trying to see what happened to Gilmore here. It looked like Kendra's getting loose, and Gilmore just followed. That'll do it.
Ooh.
Offset bump will do it.
Yeah. You can kind of bunch off around here, but you have to do it responsibly and sensibly. So it's hard.
Continuing to battle, Jurger has had his gap run down to the head of the field. Joshua Highbow right there. Wanted to fight for the spot. Highbow trying to look for the inside. Campbell, Allen, Kandra, and more. trying to keep the fight rolling as Bailey and Gilmore. 6th and 7th. As they hunt things
Not
down.
taking the bait.
Not for now, at least.
Not taking the bait on the finale, but that's okay.
And into the wall.
Yellow again.
Look out. Coming down the track. And I think someone just got T-boned. Someone just got drilled.
Yeah.
And it's Jim Duda.
A couple unlucky victims again, although I'm curious as to quite how that T-bone came flying in. I can tell you he came in out of control. He did not come in max speed, not even looking at the brakes.
So they're 3 wide. Cody Witt, Campbell, Romero. And is this just going to be 3 into 1? And the 2 Monster Energy trucks come together. Witt pushed up the track. There just wasn't enough room for him. And that puts all 3 into the outside wall.
You're going to have to look at another angle to work out quite how this third car ends up here, because you're going to see it's just sort of flying in out of control. And already,
my goodness.
He's like in the wall, let alone the 053 there of Jim Duda. I think ended up in his own incident and just happened to join in.
At speed.
Oh no, when you see what happened to Duda, you'll be like, oh no. Okay. Car in front checks up massively and he flies up the track to avoid him.
Golly, what a hit for the 053. And on board to the Duda.
So this sets us up with 30 to go. The whole field in to take their last pit stop.
Louise.
Nobody playing any surprise games. It's a chase to the end, unless another caution has left some with an extra set. We're not sure, because most drivers have stopped so many times to top up on fuel that we've not been able to track all the sets of tyres. Seeing if anyone's pulling any strategy surprises. Michael Allen did pull a strategy surprise. I think no tyres on that car.
Look at all the trucks stranded in pit road as they continue to work through damage repairs. So far, out of the race, Duda, Raymond, Wreckage, Heidman, Burke, Rapp, Amaral, Eller, recovering from damage. Ballou, 18 down. Mawalda, 3 down. Wilbers, 1 down. Talk about a bloodbath in Kansas.
Ring the bell for number 10. Give it up for number 10.
There's the hard hit into the wall for Jim Duda. And the moment Duda hit the brakes, I mean, just a passenger at that point. Nothing he could have done about it.
Maybe slowed down earlier, but I don't know what he saw in his view, and I don't have all the time in the world to analyse that. For the championship, Bailey's ahead of Kandra in the same row. If Bailey finishes anywhere near this top 5, and don't know if Kandra can take it from him. Just on the, that's not a precise scientific, has to be top 5, could be bigger than that. But anywhere in this window, I don't think you can take enough points off him.
I'd have to agree on that one. Right now, realistically, Kandra, if he finishes 6th, he needs to be able to finish outside of the top 20 to stand much of a chance. It's going to be, I think, a brutal end to this race as Allen, Yerger, and Moore continuing to show their strengths up front, at least on the short runs here from playing the strategy game. Allen took 2 tires with himself up front. Green flags back in the air. Quickly around the outside is Jürger. Heibau going to make it now 3 wide on the inside for second place as Jürger gets clear. Bailey shoving Jürger clear, trying to go for the lead. Jürger clears to the inside. And on top is Elliott Kandra. Kandra's getting desperate as he forces the hole around Michael Allen.
The best he can do is finish the best he can and hope that something chaotic happens. But that's a big hope and that's a big wish. And it's not just about finishing ahead of Zane Bailey, who's also pushing. Bailey could relax right now. I have a feeling he won't because he knows how hungry that rival behind really is.
25 to go, this time by. Getting a little dicey deeper in the field. Ryan Way wants 3, but Gilmore shuts him down. They are 3, a little bit deeper though as we cruise back into turn 1. There's Anthony Lane down the inside of Rincon and Aaron May, as well as Swafford. Dylan Wilbers trying to get back into the rhythm of things as Jürger puts down fastest lap of the race so far.
Make it 3 wide again. Not seen anyone try it 4, but that 10 on the bottom. Aaron May's flying.
Oh, we might get it here.
Right
on around goes Anthony Lane into the grass on the front straightaway. Cuts across the infield for some lawn mowing, pulls it back up. No harm, no foul.
Up front, Bailey and Kandra on top of each other for P2. How far do you think Kandra will go if he knows that Bailey has to finish worst? Do you think?
No.
There could be anything at play? Okay.
No,
I just need to get your
they're not the types of drivers to do that to each other. I mean, they've been running a clean season on all race long, and they've been running a clean season. In fact, I don't see either of them moving each other for the win. They've expressed before it's not what they want to do to win.
I think they're just here to enjoy the races, and they have had enjoyable races. And I think Bailey's obviously been the faster driver today, but Kandra deserves points for sheer perseverance. Like a sheer, literally, you can take away all the incidents that happened to him, and they haven't affected his end result really. This is pretty much the battle that was going to happen, nonetheless. So it's incredible he's made it through so much.
On that, we have to agree. Elliott Kandra has been on an absolute tear today. Has really been showing how much he wants it. Has been making the absolute most out of the many, many short runs that this race has had throughout. Got sent to the back twice, once mid-race, once right at the start, and both times he has bounced back to be fighting for podium spots.
James Jürger would quite like to run away and not concern himself with the championship, not concern himself or win here at Kansas. Now here's question number 2 though. Do you think the win will go to Jürger, or do you think one of these championship contenders will pounce for it?
I'm not sure. It could go either way. Neither of them needs the win to secure a championship. It wouldn't matter. Look out, Allen loose behind. Nearly gets into the outside wall as well as into other trucks, but he holds it. Kandra looking for the outside. He's going to look to duck around Zane Bailey. Bailey holding the bottom lane so far as he's going to track down low. Kandra looking for the middle groove as well. Up top, it is still Bailey holding on for the time being.
Bit of chaos in the middle of the field, by the way. That's Michael Allen down on the infield through the grass. So yeah, they're going to be staying green. That's no contact. He got himself super loose on the top and slid down. I do wonder if I do wonder if the aero push from the 38 has anything to do with this. These are very sensitive vehicles. Not that that's his problem, but I do just wonder if that was the tyres. Oh, we're yellow. Oh, the free Alex Romero.
Boy.
Why not?
One more wrench in the works.
Oh, no.
And May has just wiped out Joshua Heibau under the yellow. Not sure if that was intentional or not. It didn't look like it. I think.
Go watch the replay of the yellow, please.
Well, so far, two different incidents.
That is my pleas to you, oh boy.
Romero got crossed up, it looked like, as he came to the back straightaway. And looking like this may have been all by his lonesome. A very damaged race truck. There's Campbell down on the inside.
You tell me why he would do that.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons for that throughout the course of this race. I mean, pick one.
I can confirm that is not, we're not playing deniability on that. I viewed it from the cockpit. He pulls the wheel all the way to the right. He just goes, I'm hitting this truck here today. At the very least, it's not a championship.
It almost looks like a hardware failure, except you drove away from it.
I think if you look at the cockpit, or from yours, it will be the gyro. You'll see that's a move and a half and a million years, because he's looking fine and then just decides, actually,
fair play. That is not a hardware failure.
Tip back out again, you know.
Oh my God, just disgraceful.
Actually, I mean, it does stay still for a very long time. That wheel does stay still for a very long time.
Well,
is that just because it's broken?
No, whenever the wheel breaks off of the truck, it gives that appearance. It's something that we've seen time and time again. It's something that drivers have tried using as an excuse. It doesn't work as an excuse anymore. We've gotten somewhat wise to it.
And like, what is that over in a finale that's been like this?
I don't even know.
Like, out of all the places in the times for something like that to happen.
Okay, and
so maybe.
So as expected, by the way, there was nothing malicious behind May's contact with Highbow. Highbow just washed up the track, and May couldn't stop in time. But that's shameful. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't defend that. You just can't. There is never I don't care how wrong the other truck is. I don't care how upset you are. There's never an excuse for it. Never.
And because of the full course yellows, yes, that isn't like they didn't hit a championship contender, but we've just reset the field.
It is championship manipulating, yes.
So, like, now, something different might just happen as a result of getting the field together. Everyone stopped except our leader, Mike Campbell, by the way. So there was a spare set of tyres in everybody's bonnet.
Not the Campbell that took out Romero, let's be clear. Different Campbell. Number 71, not 72.
There's quite a few matching names on this track, aren't there?
All related, by the way, for the Campbell family.
I respect it.
Well, the field's going to get set to do it all over again. 15 laps to go. And we are ready to do this all over again. A controversial final race would be putting it nicely as Mike Campbell jumps out of here. Elliott, Kendra, and Moore hot on their heels. Kendra walks up the track. Here comes James Yergo looking for 3 wide. Almost puts Kendra to the wall. 3, almost 4 beating doors in a round. James Yergo one set Elliott Kendra the back straight away. Campbell maintains the lead. No caution yet. Now the caution's out. And the 19 is brought to a stop. Kendra no longer with the advantage on track, and he's got damage on the right front.
The caution came a little earlier. It came about when you'd expect for that wreck, but we're reaching a point in time where the overlay starts to get a little bit slow. So that's why it looked like that came out quite late. Pretty much as soon as the 19 was sideways, that caused that. But yeah, more pack racing chaos.
Coming off of turn 2, they all got tangled together. And Campbell got loose, dinged into Yerger. Nothing that Kendra could have done. Yerger almost got up into the air. He came down the racetrack somehow. Oh, look behind us. Allen caught a little bit of air. Yerger's going to back it up into the fence. I got no words for you here at this point, Howie.
It's the season finale blues gets in everyone's head just a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're not kidding. There is just something about the final race of the season. I mean, this is at speed, by the way. There's something about that final race, even when you're not racing for a championship, that just, I don't know, something just flips a switch in your head. And we see this in the real world, too, right? It's not just in the sim, as this is what happened to Michael Allen from deeper in the field. He was trying to slow down. Buwalda ran into the back of him, and that's what sent Buwalda around from the tail. But, you know, I've started doing motorsport safety work again, Howie, down to the Agassiz Speedway, one of the local quarter-mile ovals in the region. Guess what was the only race where I had to get between two drivers that were about to start a fight? Season finale. Something about championship night. It just turns people the wrong way.
Even people that aren't really in the battle, even people that just want to race.
I'm just amazed. I mean, we went for so long with so many clean races, and yet this is how we're choosing to end the season. But regardless, the fight for the points lead has been clean tonight. Kendra and Bailey have been fighting the good fight between each other. They've been going back and forth. Kendra, for what it's worth, still within the top 10. He'll be starting outside on the third row. It's not over yet. Still have a dozen laps left. It'll be 11 when we go green.
Well, the race will end eventually. That's all. That might be what matters. Some of us do get to go home. We do have incident limits, by the way. 18x penalties, then another for the next 4x, and then a DQ at 25. So
I'm amazed we haven't hit that yet, for the record.
4 green, white checkered attempts if we need them. Help us all.
To be fair, we've never used more than 1 this season. Most of the time we've used 0. So I have faith in that we'll make it through with 1 or less. That's been the trend. So Campbell from Wayne will look to start it off 1-2.
Still old tyres on Mike Campbell, by the way. Everybody else able to stop.
John Buwalda Jr. yet again pulling alongside. Unclear as to the reason for this one. Might be forced to come down pit road as the green flag will come out this time by 11 laps the distance. We'll do it again.
Believe? It's happening to Buwalda again. What's up with the pace car script around here? I'm not sure. Here we go though. Let's finish this race.
Campbell up front. Zane Bailey trying to maintain a podium to close out the season strong with a potential race win. He looks for the outside. Ryan Wayne wants to get in there as well. Bailey, a quick correction up top as Campbell was slow coming out of turn 2. Side by side down the back chute, contact into turn 3.
It's carnage to wrap this one up. Aaron May up on the top.
Oh,
it's
we're 4 wide.
For a
That's not going to
no,
work.
We're wrecking in the back.
Oh, Kolmensberger's angry. Kolmensberger's angry with LA Kendra here. They're hooked together in the tri-oval. And that, I think, spells an end to the championship fight. Kendra is destroyed.
Carnage, nightmare. Maybe Lucas just chose to sit out this one. You know, that was actually the play.
9 laps to go here as around! No! And Campbell, after leading so long into the outside wall, cautions out again with under 10 to go. So we'll start by looking. This is what happened to Elliot Kendra. Tail of the field, he was 4 wide up top. Got into it. Swafford and Kolmensberger kind of got each other tangled up, and
I don't know if it's that angle.
No,
that might just be glue.
Yeah, it is. You can actually see there's an orange sticker on the driver's wheel. He could see from Kolmensberger. He had it turned to the right. He was trying to get it out of him. So my apologies to Kolmensberger. He was not doing that intentionally by any stretch of the imagination. Just unfortunate circumstance. And then this is what happened to Campbell coming out of turn 2. Pushes up and hooked by Gilmore into Ryan Wayne. And around they go on the front. Once again at speed. Gosh, that is a hit into the outside wall, isn't it? Good save for Ryan Wayne. He somehow got it straight. Well, Elliott Cantor is going to take the full opportunity of this caution, Howard, to come down pit road. He wants to get damages repaired, but I don't know. That's a really damaged right front. I think unless Bailey gets wrecked next, I think he's had it.
Is there a meatball on that? I need to check.
I don't believe there is not.
No, it isn't. He's allowed to drive that thing. It's amazing the things are allowed to drive on a NASCAR track that you wouldn't be allowed to drive on the roads.
I mean, racing in general, to be fair. Have you seen what some of the IMSA cars look like when they finish a race?
It's just a flesh wound, you know. They design cars with whole clips that you can just take off and put back on again like it's Lego. It's fascinating stuff out there.
Oh, yeah.
Have they considered, like, adding front and rear clips to next gens just so we can actually see them take damage again? I miss when cars they bent and broke.
You never know. It could be a day coming. So it'll be a 6-lap dash. And both of the last two restarts, we have not made it past turn 3 before going 3 wide. I got a feeling we're going to see that again here. Elliott Cantor, by the way, is back out on the racetrack. However, he has not been able to fully repair his truck, and he does have significant steering damage on the right front. He is going to be off pace. Howie, your bet's as good as mine to how this one pans out.
I don't know if I want to call a winner on a field this crazy, but Aaron May, every time I've seen him just like do something, it's been very fast, so wouldn't count him out. But really, I think, I mean, there's no championship on the line anymore. It's just going to be a Hail Mary. I think everybody all over the lines. I think any guess is as good as tossing a coin.
Green flag is back. Aaron May trying to charge after the race win here this afternoon. Zane Bailey hunting for the race lead as well. Looking like we'll get out of at least 1 and 2 without going 3 wide for the lead. Does we move over 3 wide elsewhere, and they're 3 wide in the background.
Do we want to be here all night? That's what they have to decide among themselves, but they've managed to mostly settle out. It was those first few laps that were the most deadly and the most dangerous. Zane Bailey would love a win. I think he's going to make a chase for it. He wants to make a statement on the end of the season and say there's nothing that Kundra could have done, no matter what, by winning this.
Bailey is charging after May for the lead, trying to make that look to the inside. May blocks low. He blocks high. Zane Bailey trying to go all the way around the number 10 caution, and it's Jernigan hard into the inside wall right at the safety opening.
Give it up for number I stopped counting.
And
might be 14 at this stage.
And this will be our first overtime attempt as well.
Remember what I said about it getting better? That part was wrong.
So we'll try to find Joshua Jernigan here. It's going to happen in the background as he makes his way out of turn 2. Back end's going to swing around. Kolmensberger finishes the job. 22 is going to go down, and he locks the brakes, but that truck's not stopping. Backs it big time into the inside fence.
All silly mistakes.
That number 22 machine has been put through the ringer this afternoon. Oh, we're just running the damaged race truck in. That might be what finally does him in, although that said, he has not come down pit road and he's still on the racetrack. I feel at this point, Jernigan just wants to make it to the checker flag on principle.
Make it home, make it out. You know, we all want to make it home, make it out. We've been going around Kansas many, many times, and sometimes ARCA races do the same thing here. They just sort of end in chaos.
Green flag will be coming out before too much longer. It'll be a 2-lap dash, first of a potential of 4. Could go either way as to if we're going to make it back to the white flag or not. 31 trucks started this race. We only have 18 on the racetrack, only 16 of which are on the lead lap. And Elliott Kanter, by the way, is done for the day. So that is it. Zane Bailey will be officially your 2026 SRA IEL Truck Series champion.
And honestly, like, I think Kanter will look back and he'll go, well, I couldn't really get past the second place Zane Bailey. So, you know, Zane Bailey's done everything he needed to this race. And if he finished anywhere in this window, then this is how it's just going to be.
Aaron May, Zane Bailey, Jeff Gilmore, Highbow, Witt, Wilbers will all get set to duke it out for what could be the final time this season. Still have the chance, though, to close out this season with yet another overtime attempt. It's 1 of 4. Will come out of turn numbers 3 and 4 this time by green flag. We'll be back in the air at the Sunoco Fuels restart zone. Three wide, deeper in the field. Yet again, Aaron May going to block Zane Bailey. Down the back straightaway, entering turn 3. Trying to see if Bailey's got anything for Aaron May for the number 1 spot out of turn 4. White flag in the air, a mile and a half to go. They will make it back on just 1 attempt. Race and season is official. Zane Bailey trying to hunt for the inside of Aaron May for the race win this afternoon. We had trucks into the wall in the front straightaway, but everyone kept it straight. Does he have an answer for May in 3 and 4? Will he go for the bumper in this one last race? Aaron May pulling clear up front. And finally, Aaron May back to victory lane. But Zane Bailey, the 2026 SRA IEL Truck Series champion.
Took a chaotic run to get there. Took a spectacular set of battling over the course of the season. It's been fun to be here and it's been fun to watch out. By the way, 4x for Zane Bailey in total. Most others are getting higher, but not the lowest. It's George Rincon, the only driver to get a 0x this race.
How about that? Good job, Rincon.
15 cautions.
Aaron May is going to burn it down the front straightaway. No surprises here as he's going to be a happy camper coming home to this one. Zane Bailey gave it everything, though. In the final stages, just wasn't enough, but it is enough to clinch him as the final, well, not as the final champ, but as the champion for the 2026 SRA IEL Truck Series, going back-to-back with the Super Speedway Blitz from January to boot. A lot of drivers are going to have a lot of opinions on how this race went down. I'm sure Kandra has his opinions as well. But all of this brings Racing Action this afternoon to a close. Let's take a run to the official post-race results. It is Aaron May bringing it home. Number 1 as the final winner of the season, while Bailey will lock out a championship as Elliott Kandra did make it, by the way, to the checker flag, although not up to pace. Gilmore comes home 3rd. From there, it's Ryan Wayne in 4th, Paul Wade in 5th, Highbow in 6th, Wilbers, Rincon, Lane, and Swafford round out the top 10.
Further on back, it's Anthony Lane, Michael Allen, James Yerger, Matteo Mitchell, Jim Kommelsberger. After all of those unusual yellows, does actually end up still lead the lap. Elliott Kandra finishes 16th, though I don't really know how he could have won this championship nonetheless. Joshua Hernigan's in 17th, ahead of Mike Campbell, and Josh World of Juniors, our first DNF, next to Julian Ballou.
21st on down, it's Campbell failing to finish this race. He is joined by Cody Witt, Jim Duda, Aaron Raymond, Ted Rekich, Scott Heidman, Joshua Burkdale, Robert Amaral, and then the likes of Dean Ellert will bring up the tail end of the field. Well, that is it then, as Racing Action is set to be drawn to a close here this afternoon. Let's give a chit-chat in here with the top contenders that finished this race out. And we'll start things off with your race winner here on the day, Aaron May, coming home number 1. And I tell you what, Aaron, I know not kind of the way you were hoping to get a win today, but hey, a win is a win regardless of how much chaos came before it. What a ride this afternoon, and what a way to take the final win of the season.
Man, thank God. Thank God. I've been wanting to win here something awful. This is my first career win. I've been racing here for multiple years. To finally get it, it's so relieving, man. I am so happy right now. I want to thank God. I want to thank my parents for watching every week. I want to thank my teammates. I'm so happy, bro. I'm so happy.
I cannot blame you as well. You had to work for that one. Zane Bailey was giving you absolutely everything in the closing laps there. How were you able to survive for what must have felt like 17 hours to close out the final laps of this race?
I honestly don't know, man. This race was such a wreck fest, and even I even got wrecked like, I don't know, twice this race. I don't even know how I got back to the front, and I had like a whole minute of damage at one point, and I was able to get it fixed, and I never gave up. I just never gave up.
Well, overall, now that you finally got your first race win, you know what they say. The first one is always the hardest. Do you reckon this could be the first of many, and do you intend to go for some championships down the line?
I really hope so, man. I hope this is a start for good things to come.
Well, we'll wish you the best of luck whenever we see you on the racetrack next. Aaron, a huge congratulations. It took a long time, but you are finally a winner in the in the Sim Racing Association, and, well, we'll see you whenever we see you on the racetrack next.
Thank you so much. Y'all do such a great job broadcasting. We appreciate everything y'all do as well.
And, of course, we appreciate you for taking the time to join us up here. That was Aaron May, his first ever win in SRA, coming home number 1 to the final race at Kansas. Well, Howie, we are going to move things on down, trying to see if we can't get a word in here with your 2026 champion. You've caught up with Zane Bailey, the driver that finishes on top of the points at the end of the day.
Zane Bailey, season champion, no matter what happened behind, and we'll say a lot happened behind, you absolutely maximised your race, and there's no other way this could have gone with you going so fast on the track. First question, no. How focused were you on your rival, or did you think, I had a big gap behind me, I could sort of relax?
I wasn't relaxed. I was keeping an eye on him all day because, still, if I would get wrecked out, he would be able to pass me, or, if I make a bad strategy call and get track the lap down. He still could have definitely won it, so I definitely was keeping an eye on him all throughout the night.
Well, the race on Kansas was absolutely chaotic. How did you stay out of it in the way that your rival wasn't able to?
Just when I saw guys coming up that I knew are typically aggressive and showing that they're aggressive, I just let them go because like they can wreck each other. I have a big enough gap to Elliott where I could run like 5th to 10th and still win the championship. I'd much rather do that than like race for first, be racing for like a top 5 position and then get taken out and then totally losing it. So I was just being very safe all night.
Well, season champion, I'm not quite sure what they're running next time around, but you think you'll be able to make another shot at the top?
The next season of like trucks or something, I don't think I'm going to do in the next season. With like the Cadillac cars, I really don't like those. I don't find those fun to drive. But yeah, next time they do like trucks or NASCAR, some stock car or something, yeah, I definitely think I'll be in contention for the championship.
Well, any other thank yous or shout outs over the course of this season? You've earned the spot this time.
Yeah, all my teammates. Ted, after he got taken out, he was crew chief / spotter for me and James. Paul and Thomas for putting the league on, and you guys for broadcasting.
Congrats on the championship, Zane Bailey.
Yep, thank you.
And Howie, that brings our time with SRA here to a close once again. What a championship, and I know for a lot of drivers, not the way they wanted it to end, but hey, we got an explosive ending, didn't we? And this is, I think, is getting said to say that there's some rivalries in this series that are going to be going on for a long time after tonight.
Well, having a healthy community, having a big community that shows up week after week, sort of keeps the championships rolling back after back. I don't think we can be back to cover them, but I'm sure we'd like to. It's been a very long-running institution of the channel. They will be missed around here.
Well, they sure will, and I tell you what, they might be back in the future. We'll have to wait and see. Before we go racing next time out, there is still yet more action coming up here on Green Flag TV. Don't forget to check out the Blaze Battles Trucks. It's coming up tomorrow afternoon, as well as the Belgian Sim Racing Federation headed out to Mexico City on Monday. Precision Motorsports League still open for business as well. You can sign up today with them by checking out the Discord link in the description of this live stream. A huge thank you to SRA for being with us for what has been an absolutely incredible nearly 4 years now since we first got Green Flag TV on the air, and a big thank you to everybody that has joined us through thick and thin here as well. It's the end of what feels like an era, but who knows? There might still be a chance for them to return so we can start all anew once again. My little ramble alongside Howie Burrows. Thank you all so much for joining us here once again on Green Flag TV. And we will get set to see you all when we go racing next time on Green Flag TV here on Saturdays.